listen, I respect that. He's like, but whatever you do, get out of Miami. That food scene's never gonna happen. And I hung up the phone and I said, I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah. You worked under some of the best chefs in Miami and spent 3 years as executive chef at 660. Then in 2011, you became the first ever Miami contestant to win on Chopped. You made such an impression that one of the famous chef judges offered you a job in New York, but instead you came back to Miami and launched Eating House as a pop-up.
I've worked in 2 restaurants my whole life. I was like, this is not a challenge. Like, this is boring. I don't love this. And I'm like doing the math. I'm like, dude, I'm the first one that's gonna win on TV.
Yeah.
We gotta do something. I took my partner, Alex. My buddy's a manager at the Clevelander. I am at the Anglers, health insurance, paid leave, 401k, the works. And I'm like, dude, let's quit our jobs. Let's open a restaurant. We're just like, we quit, put our notice in. Let's figure out our lives then, like high risk, high reward. And we just opened Eating House in 2012 as a pop-up. 6 months of madness, lines. It was crazy. I've been my own boss since I was 26 years old.
When you say finding health, talk about that a little.
I didn't care about what I put in my body. It was just, not good. Like, not good. I didn't care. I ate whatever. And I just kind of lost myself. I don't want to be an influencer, but I would love to influence you to make yourself better. I want to raise awareness for health in the restaurant community and in my industry. And it's like, if you give so much time to your business, why not give that time to yourself?
Because you've never done cold plunging, right?
Not really, not.
Yo, we did it, see?
Wow. No, now I got to do it again.
I'm Manning Sumner. I've lived my life by one motto, no days off. No days off is never taking a day off on you. It's a commitment to becoming your best self. Get ready to be inspired to do the same. This is the Big Dawgs with Manning Sumner. Well, Giorgio, thank you so much for being here, man. We'll give the people a little bit of background on you and then we'll dive in, all right?
For sure.
You were born and raised in Miami, Florida.
Yep.
To an Italian mother and an Argentinian father. From early on, it seemed like you were destined to be a chef.
That's right.
Even as a toddler, you spent hours watching cooking shows.
Yes.
That love for cooking really blossomed at age 5 when you and your mom would spend Sundays in the kitchen making her pomodoro sauce. Pomodoro sauce.
Yeah.
The meals became more elaborate and roles reversed between teacher and student, but tradition carried on.
I love that.
After high school, you enrolled in the Culinary Arts program at Johnson & Wales University, where you maintained a nearly perfect GPA and were repeatedly on the dean's list.
Yes.
But just one semester before graduation, you made the decision to drop out and go full force into the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
You worked under some of the best chefs in Miami and spent 3 years as executive chef at 660 at the Anglers on Miami Beach.
Yep.
You've been repeated guest at Slow Foods Terra Madre in Italy, a flagship international gathering and festival celebrating sustainable food, where you worked alongside world-renowned chefs and experience that changed your life and your understanding of food. Then in 2011, you became the first ever Miami contestant to win on Chopped.
Yep.
You made such an impression that one of the famous chef judges offered you a job in New York, but instead you came back to Miami and launched Eating House as a pop-up, which quickly became one of the most talked about restaurants in the city. Since you have dedicated your career to championing Miami's culinary scene and infusing your Argentinian and Italian heritage into the city's rich melting pot of food and culture. In 2012, you reopened Eating House as a full restaurant to critical acclaim. It closed in summer of 2021, but reopened in December 2022. And Giralda Plaza, right by your sister's restaurant, Luca Osteria, named after your son, which opened in 2021 as the second project under your Shake and Bake hospitality group. I love that name. And summer 2024, you took over Mayfair Grill and Coconut Grove, and you're also the executive chef at the Grape Ape. You've been recognized by the James Beard Foundation, an American nonprofit culinary arts organization based in New York City, earned a spot on Forbes 30 Under 30, and received multiple local and regional awards naming your restaurants among the best in Miami. And beyond the kitchen, you're also an artist, passionate about street art, stencils, and spray paint, and you even dabble in music. I can't wait to hear it while you're laughing. Dabble in music, sampling, mixing beats, which you sometimes play at the Eating House.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a hell of a resume.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, but congratulations on all the accomplishments.
Yeah, thank you.
So what is it about, at such an early age, what do you think it was your mom or do you think it was you, internally? But what was it about cooking at a young age that you knew that that's what you wanted to do?
I think I'm a quintessential Italian household, right? I'm first generation American. I had my nonna was like in the kitchen all the time, cooking. We would eat Sundays at the house. My mom would cook. Single mother, like raised by a single mother, still dinner on the table every single night. So it was this kind of balance of like cooking isn't just like nourishment and sustaining, like being able to feed your family, but it's also like a matter of work ethic, right? My mom worked 9 to 5, picked us up from school, and then still put dinner on the table every single night. So It was like kind of a sign of like, okay, this is what hard work means.
Yeah.
And I've just always loved cooking. I think it was something I've always passionate about. Obviously I was a kid. I watched Boy Meets World, Saved by the Bell, whatever. But like, also I would watch cooking shows all the time. And I think as the Food Network first started and old Emerald's old shows and old Bobby Flay and Too Hot Tamales and like all these shows that I grew up watching, the food, I kind of grew up with the Food Network, right? And I loved cooking my whole life. And I was very lucky. My mom is an incredible cook. My grandmother was an incredible cook. My grandmother on my Argentine side, fantastic cook. My dad does parrilla, so we do asados. And it's just always been like, maybe like the one sense of peace in crazy household was like at the dinner table. And food was always just so important to us. And it's just something I've always loved. And I think people constantly are like, when did you know you wanted to be a chef? Like, when did it click? And I don't really have an answer. It's the only thing I've ever known. Never really wanted, like, I never had dreams of being a firefighter. I never wanted to be a sports artist. I was like, I'm going to be a chef. That's what I'm going to do. In like high school was like, great, sure, whatever. This is fine. I'm going to cook. That wasn't that important to me. Like the only thing I ever wanted to do was cook. It's all I ever cared about. And I never like took my SATs. I got into Johnson & Wales because I entered like a recipe contest and I got a scholarship to Johnson & Wales. And then, right, we talk about like leaving Johnson & Wales, and I was just like, I was like so good in school, and I was like, this is not a challenge. Like, this is boring. I don't love this. Like, and so I just went into the real world, and it was at the end of the time I was working under a really like one of my mentors. His name was Adam Votaw. I was 17, 18, and going to school. I would go to school 7 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon. Leave school, which was up here in North Miami, drive to the Gables, work dinner service all night, get home at midnight, wake up at 5:30, 6 in the morning to drive to North Miami again. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And I'd go to work and I'd be like, chef, I learned this and this. And he'd be like, it's great. You work for me. You know what I mean? You do what I say.
Right.
Chef, well, what about, he's like, put your head down and work, and I was like, okay, I'll put my head down and I'll work. And I was just like, I was learning, everything I would learn in school was like outdated, and it just didn't really click for me. Yes, I understood the fundamentals, but I had known the fundamentals because I've been doing the fundamentals my whole life.
Right.
And then I was very fortunate to work. What's pretty crazy is like, yes, this is an amazing bio, right? Like beautifully done by the PR team. But I've worked in, other than my own, I've worked in 2 restaurants my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah. I never wanted to go to Europe. I never wanted to go work under a Michelin starred chef. I never wanted to be like a robot and say like, I am this person's disciple. I just wanted to, I learned how to run restaurants, and I developed my own style, which I'm very fortunate for. But I learned, the concept of hard work. I learned the concept of managing a staff, how to run restaurants, how to, at this restaurant we were at, it was called Chispa. It was like this hot new Latin concept in the Gables. It was like C and BC, and it was madness. We were doing 700-800 covers on a Friday night. It was insanity.
That's insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
That was my...
That's your first experience.
First thing, 17 years old.
Wow.
Monster line cooks, right? Like beasts. And I'm a kid. I'm 17, I'm 18 years old. And I'm with monster cooks. Monsters,
right.
Like monsters. And I was like, all right, I got to hold up.
Yeah.
And that's all it was. It was yes chef, no chef. I'd go in on my days off, no days off, right? Like for me, no days off, right? Go in, work for free, put my head down. You got an event, I'll do it. You want me to do this? I'll do it. Like, how much do you pay him? I pay him? Okay, I'll do it for less.
Yeah.
That's how I made my way.
I think we're missing that too, like in this day and age. Man. Just like hearing you say that, it brings back memories of me in a different field, obviously, but the same mentality. Mm-hmm. It was like, I was learning in school, but no, I wanted to get as close to the strength coach as possible. Yeah. I wanted to experience it. Like I didn't want to just read about it. I didn't want to do like lab report. No, I wanted to be in it.
Yeah, I want to suffer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I wanted to do it for free because I knew that eventually it was going to pay off. Mm-hmm. Now, you get these 18-year-old kids that are like, how much you going to pay me? Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, no, it doesn't work. I made like
$8.25.
Yeah.
$8.25 an hour.
Yeah.
Sure. But I didn't even like negotiate. Sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
You could have told me I paid $5. Great. And it was my first gig, and I worked there for 4 years. I eventually ended up being the chef de cuisine and running their new location. You know, I learned everything. I knew the ins and outs of that restaurant.
Yeah.
I did pastry, I did fryer, I did everything. Didn't matter. Like, I could have told you what the servers did.
Yeah.
And
but that's exactly why you ended up where
yeah, I did that for 4 years.
Right.
Then the restaurant closed. The owners got into some hardship. Restaurant closed. Had to find another job. Went to go work at another restaurant for a couple months to help out an old chef. Then I got a call saying, hey, do you want to come check out this hotel? That was the Anglers, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And then I've been my own boss since I was 26 years old.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's awesome.
That's great.
It's awesome.
When you got the call to be like your own boss, like what was that like? Like what was that feeling like?
So I think it all had to do with Chopped, right?
Yeah.
So May of 2011, I get a call from the Food Network, and they're like, hey, we're calling to cast on Chopped. I'm like, sure. Listen, my mom's dream, the Food Network, right? I was like, my mom's going to see me on the Food Network. I'm going to do this for her.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm going to do it for my mom. I'm going to go on the show. My goal is like, my mom's going to be able to say like, she's seen me on the Food Network, something that we grew up watching together, right? It was very important to me. I won. Great. Beautiful. It was awesome. Like, honestly, I crushed it. It was great.
Was it a good experience?
Yeah, it was great. Like I crushed. Like I really crushed on the show.
Yeah.
Which was wonderful. And then it's like, here's an NDA. Stay quiet for 6 months. Don't tell a soul. It's like, all right. Didn't say a word. I get the call, like, your show's going to air January. And I'm like, okay, great. Mind you, I'll go back and we'll talk about like the phone call.
Yeah.
So I guess whatever. Anyways, let's talk about that. So 3 months after Chopped, I get a phone call. It's a judge. His name's Chris Santos. Really cool, like super into like hardcore tattoos, like the dude, right?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, my name's Chris. I was your judge on Chopped. I said, chef, how are you? How you been? He's like, listen, I have an opportunity. I have a chef position for this restaurant that I'm opening. I'd love for you to come out. This was solely him watching me for an hour on Chopped. He watched me make 3 dishes. And he was like, you're the dude. Like, I've never seen anybody like you on the show. Come run my restaurants. Fly up to New York. And the whole thing in New York's happening. I'm at the restaurants for a week, blah, 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 And it just wasn't me. Like, I'm a Miami boy. New York wasn't for me. And I said, chef, I appreciate everything. It's been, amazing. I'm beyond honored that you even think of me, but like, Miami's home, And then he's like, okay. He's like, listen, I respect that. He's like, but whatever you do, get out of Miami. That food scene's never going to happen. And I hung up the phone and I said, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in. Okay. Put me up to the test. Let's make it happen. Okay. So then I'm watching Chop. Everything's happening. Like, okay, your show's airing in January. Great. And then there's like 4 or 5 other chefs from Miami that go before me. Not so fortunate. None of them win. And then I'm like doing the math. I'm like, dude, I'm the first one that's going to win on TV.
Yeah.
We got to do something. My partner, Alex Casanova, my business partner, to this day, we were roommates. We are Shake and Bake Hospitality because him and I used to DJ together, and our DJ group was Shake and Bake.
No way. Okay.
Yeah, mind you, DJ in our apartment. Like, we were living in this apartment complex in Miami Beach. Like,
one of my best friends that I played football with, his nickname was Shake and Bake.
I love that. That was great. Yeah, like we were just like, we were in this building in North Miami, in North Beach, like older crowd, and we were like the only young ones there. We'd get in so much trouble, just like with the loud music, whatever. So we were Shake and Bake. Anyways, so I'm like, Cass, like my buddy's a manager at the Clevelander. I am at the Anglers, health insurance, paid leave, 401k, the works. And I'm like, dude, let's quit our jobs. Let's open a restaurant. He's like, all right, let's do it. So we started looking around like, I don't know what it takes to open a restaurant, right? I'm like, okay, we have a month to open a restaurant. I think it's going to happen. We're looking, we're like, this is never going to happen.
A month?
Yeah, I didn't know.
That was a little naive.
Yeah, I had no idea, man. I had no clue.
Yeah.
And then,
especially in Miami.
Yeah, I had no clue.
Can't even get
but
a
around
permit.
the time, a restaurant near this area, Fukia, was like the first pop-up restaurant ever. I'm like, dude, let's open a pop-up restaurant.
So you know Annie?
Yeah.
I love
so it's
Annie.
like, they were the first ones. Fukia, like everyone's like Eating House, Miami's first pop-up. I'm like, no, Fukia was the first pop-up ever.
Right.
Like, I give them credit all the time. We just were like, they were like in a hallway, like real deal.
Yeah.
We were like able to create a restaurant concept. So we find this restaurant that's open for breakfast and lunch. It's a bakery, like a Cuban bakery in Coral Gables. And I'm like, we figure it out. Let's pay half the rent. We use that at night. I'm like, all right, let's do this. The show aired like middle of January. Eating House opened the first week of February. Like, quit our jobs, left it all on the table.
Was perfect.
We're just like, we quit, put our notice in. Let's figure out our lives then. Like high risk, high reward. And we just opened Eating House in 2012 as a pop-up, and it was 6 months of just like madness. It was crazy, like lines. It was crazy. It was crazy. Like every day was a different menu. We would just go to we had no like purveyors. We would just go to the grocery store, whatever worked. Like everyone's like, like our famous thing for brunch are these Captain Crunch pancakes. Well, those just happened to exist because Captain Crunch was buy one, get one free that week, like that's why it worked. And we just like, we did whatever we could.
Somebody else does those Captain Crunch in LA.
Do they?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It's like Captain Crunch French
toast. Yeah, I've seen that.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. So they like crust them.
Yeah.
We actually like mill the cereal into a flour.
Okay.
And like make the entire pancake taste like Captain. It's a lot of work. Yeah. And the original concept was like, we were going to do a different cereal every week, but it just like stuck with Captain Crunch because they were BOGO and we're like, these are the move. So it's been, 10 years of buying. It's crazy. Like we use all these incredible ingredients and then there's like boxes of Captain Crunch at the restaurant. And Eating House was just like awesome, man. It was just it took off. It was great. We were like everything you want.
But talk to me a little bit about like, because I've experienced this, like where you're the star, right? But now you're like managing other people, like more so than probably you ever have.
Yes.
So how was that transition? As like being the dude. And now you're having to be the dude, but tell everybody else what to do.
Yeah, and I think I was too much of the dude, So every time I talk about this now, I'm like, to everybody that worked for me, I'm really sorry. Like, thank you. I had
those moments early on too.
Thank you. Like, I'm sorry. I was not the leader I am today. I was a kid. I was 26 years old. I didn't know better. And it was
like the Hell's Kitchen guy?
Yeah, I was a little scary, I guess. I was just like, I think it was like very much like I thought it was like the me show, and I was like, there was so much pressure on me for myself that I didn't know how to channel it, and I like definitely took it out on them. And it was like, I look back now and I'm like, man, like I don't want to be that leader. My greatest accomplishment to this day, you read it, right? Forbes, Magazine, blah, blah, like that doesn't mean anything to me. The fact that like every single one of my employees has health insurance, that's the coolest thing in the world. Like,
but let me ask you this though, like, because I've talked to a lot of people and I also feel the same, especially like super, super high level people, that there is a season though in that beginning where you do have to kind of be that guy in the beginning. Now, of course, now it's easy to look back and be like, damn, why did I do it? Like, but you don't learn if you don't go through it and experience it and have like that self-awareness, self-reflection to then grow into a better version of yourself.
100%.
Right? Yeah.
And I try to think that there must have been some silver lining because like while I was very difficult, people were with me for years, and people are still with me that have been with me from the Eating House days, right?
And that's what I struggle with. It's like, I was a maniac, but y'all kept following me and kept doing what I was doing.
It must have been worth it.
You know what I mean? But I think that I think the thing is that if we didn't evolve, then they wouldn't respect. And they would have been like, well, you're never going to change.
For sure.
Then they would have left.
100%.
But those little moments of clarity where you're like, okay, I can't speak like that.
For sure. And the thing too is like, that's what I was raised. Yeah. That's all I knew. It was my life. Like working under like the Tyrant chef is all I knew. I was,
And talk about that a little bit. Because as like someone that watches the shows and watches these things, like it's kind of, that's what we think of when we think of a kitchen in the back.
The madness.
We think of just total, because that's every single movie you watch,
like
every
the bear or whatever, right?
Is that really how it is?
Some places, I'm sure, yes. I try not to lead like that anymore, and I think through having a kid has really like calmed me down. I think through finding health and fitness, I've become a much better leader, a much better person. But it's a tough industry. It's tense. It's a lot, and it's a lot to take in. And when it's like it's Eating House, but like no matter what, like I am still Eating House, right? Like people shows so much pressure, and I think we did amazing things. And like I know I wouldn't be anywhere without them, And I think like I don't know, I had this like insane mentality that it's like you should feel lucky to work here because we're doing things that nobody else is doing. But at the same time, it was like, I look back now and I think, I probably could have handled these situations better, been more polite, been more kind, been more respectful. And, now I used to pride myself on like having a restaurant that pushed boundaries and like I used to pride myself on the restaurant. Now I really pride myself on like being a leader and running businesses. I think the shift champ, I'm going to be 40 in October. Like I'm not the same kid anymore. and we worked hard. We played hard. You know, it was like the quintessential madness restaurant story. And yeah, it was wild, you know. And then I was very lucky that we got to run that restaurant through the lease. And like the reason we ended that lease is because we had a new version of it, you know, which is very lucky. And you know, I look back and I say we're very fortunate. We came at the right time. Like everything kind of happened in the right place. But I also feel like, you know, like, is it luck unless you're ready for it, right? And we worked hard and we were ready for it. And like anything that came our way, we're like, let's do it, you know, head down and let's just work.
During that transition of going from the old spot to the new spot and kind of leveling up, did you get any like pushback from from the nostalgia?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like,
tons.
Because I had to deal with that.
Oh yeah.
Like where literally people like damn near like hated on it. Like I was like, we have AC now. And they're like, we liked it when it was hot.
Oh,
like,
100%.
And you're like, what?
Yeah. Oh my God. Tons. Like, oh, bring on the, I'm like, you want to eat food that I used to make when I was 27? Right. Like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want to cook with Dr. Pepper anymore. Yeah. You know? And yeah, we got tons of pushback. And I was like, okay, like I evolved, my palate's evolved. And now I think we found like a really beautiful balance in between the two. Yeah, but Eating House is like really wild, crazy cuisine. And like, I don't know. I don't cook like that anymore. Like, I don't want to eat like that anymore. Right. And yeah, we definitely got a lot of pushback. And it was interesting because like some of the core regulars were like, it's not the same anymore. But I'm also like, dude, you're not the same anymore, right?
Exactly,
like,
right.
I think you kind of have to like rip the Band-Aid off.
Or they are the same.
Yeah.
And then what does that say about them?
Listen, that's the thing
what
too.
I started to realize. I'm like, listen, the reason why you don't want us to grow is because you don't want to grow.
Yeah, that's the hard part too. Like we used to sell, like people were like, when we first opened brunch, we used to serve Tang mimosas in plastic cups, and people are like, when are you gonna bring it back to? I'm like, dude, we sell Burgundy. We have incredible like grower champagne, and you want a Tang mimosa, right? You know, and it's like it's hard because like those are the things I love. I love fine wine. I love great food. I love good cooking. I love balance in cuisine, and it's like it's kind of hard to meet in the middle. And you say, what's the balance between like having a sense of like what I want to serve, what I believe in, what I love, and like, yeah, I could maybe make the old menu and it would be the same and it would make sense business wise, but like I don't know if I would stand behind that the way I used to, you know. And I think I've just changed. My palates. I mean, I'm an adult. Like,
right. It is interesting how talk about that a little bit because I feel like that happens. We get older. Our like everything changes really. Like
for sure.
Your taste of music. Your like what you want to do on your off time. Like all these things you start to mature in a different way. And I love hearing you say it about food because that's so true. Like even like exploring new stuff. You know, when you're older, you want to explore new. You want to try new things. And I remember, you know, when you're younger, and you're like, "Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that."
Exactly.
Like, the fact we used to say that is so stupid.
Crazy.
Like, how do you know you don't like it? Like,
you haven't even tried it.
Exactly.
That's the thing too. Is like you go through all these phases, and like now I feel like I've done so much exploring with eating. When I know what I want, I'm like, when I want to just have dinner, I'm like, man, just like it's crazy to say, like I've just like imagine I run these restaurants like and my day off, like where you'd be like, where can you eat anywhere? I'm like, dude. Take me to the Capitol Grill.
Okay.
All right. You know, I'm a simple man. Yeah, I love Capitol Grill. Yeah. The grill's amazing, right?
It's consistent, it's clean, it's nice.
I don't need
service is nice.
That's it. You nailed it. Like I'm a happy man. Yeah. You know, like I love supporting my buddies and their businesses and like, but like if when it comes down to it, I just want to like I want to eat something that I know like all reliable, right? Because like I work 6 days a week, sometimes 7, and it's like different types of food and cooking and this. Sometimes I just want to just like man, if I could just get like prime rib service on like in a torpedo, right? Like I'd be a dream. And yeah, it's just become this aura of simplicity. And I think a lot of it had come to like through finding health a couple of years ago. It's interesting what you want to put in your body, right?
So like, when you say finding health, talk about that a little bit. So what? Take me back when you didn't find health. Okay, and then tell me how you found it. Yeah,
so I think throughout my career, I had always kind of fluctuated, right? Like I was. It's interesting. I was just on the cruise and I was talking about this. Like, I feel like before August 2020, well, I can tell you, August 24th, 2021 was the day everything changed. But before that, it was always this kind of like cycle, like get ready for the summer, right? And then you go on a family vacation and then it's like a week or two of not eating well and not working out. And then you're like, but then my birthday's around the corner and then it's Thanksgiving and then it's Christmas and I'll just pick it up again. And then it just goes away. And like I had done some triathlons. I had to run some half marathon, gym bro, whatever, you know, did Peloton during the pandemic. Nothing stuck. Nothing ever stuck because like I also didn't find the time and I didn't want to. I honestly just didn't want to.
Yeah.
Like I didn't care. And then when I opened Luca, we were working like crazy, late nights, dinner every night was pasta. Like it was the easiest thing, right? And like I got to probably close to like 225, like not a charming 225, you know? Like I look back at some of the closing pictures of
Not
eating
a
out.
charming 225.
Right,
I
like
like
not
the way
fun-
you framed
yeah,
that.
you feel me? Like
How
listen,
tall are you?
5'10".
Yeah, that's
Not charming,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But like you can get there,
Yeah, I
sure.
was about
Like
to say,
damn, you tell me I'm gonna do
225. So,
right, a charming 225. So yeah, it was not great, man.
Yeah.
It was not great. I was like lazy. I didn't care about what I put in my body. It was just not good. Like not good. I didn't care. I ate whatever. And I just like kind of lost myself. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna like Lucas started school and I was okay, like I have a kid, he's 3, it was the pandemic and whatever. Any excuse that I could make now, sure, I'll tell myself and I did it. And I gave myself every excuse. I work too late, I work too hard, I have too many restaurants, I have a kid at home, I have this, blah, 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 whatever.
right. And are
Doesn't
these
matter.
kind of the conversations you're having with yourself?
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Excuses.
You know, like
what I mean?
when you would wake up and you'd want to say, go for a run or something, you start telling yourself, oh, I work so hard, I have a kid, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Anything to like avoid it and justify it.
Okay.
Like anything to justify why I didn't do it. Like, oh, I have a hard day at work, like it's all excuses because I mean, I remember I opened Mayfair Grill on a Friday night. That Saturday morning, I PR'd a half marathon, right? Like there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Unless you make it and that's fine. Like that's what you want to do in your life. And like, it's not ever going to happen until you yourself are ready. Like one of my bar managers, we had like a costume party for the closing of Eating House. And it was a costume party and he came as me and he had like a pillow under a chef coat to be me. And in my head, I'm like, I don't look like that. Now I look back and I'm like, I definitely look like that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
You don't see it. When you see yourself every day, you don't see it. And yeah, then I put him in school on that Monday and I said, okay, like I'm going to go on a diet. I did like keto, I said, okay, I had a plate of pasta on Sunday. I said, okay, I won't eat another plate of this until I'm comfortable with myself. And
that was August 24th, 2021.
Yeah, man. It was awesome. That was like life-changing. I basically, a buddy of mine owns a CrossFit gym, like right around the block from my house. His name's Danny. And for 4 years or 5 years, like I knew him, his brother. I was like, I'm going to go work out with you on Monday. Oh, I'll be there Monday. I'll be there Monday. I'll be there Monday. I'll be there Monday. I'll be there.
You were the Monday guy?
You know what? Yeah. Right. Now I'm like
I've had so many Monday guys in my life.
And like, why Monday?
Yeah.
Right? Like now I'm in this, why Monday?
It drives me nuts.
Yeah, why Monday?
I'll talk to them on Tuesday and they'll be like, I'll see you on Monday.
How about
and
now?
I'm like, it's Tuesday, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Why Monday?
Why
right?
Monday?
I know.
Because when they say that, they're not telling you.
Yeah. I would say at least my only reason for saying it was going to be a Monday because Mondays my restaurants are closed.
Okay.
So I was like, that's my whatever. But it didn't matter because it was an excuse. I never went. I never showed up. And then I was like, I'll be there Monday. He's like, all right, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like you've said 100 times. Monday I showed up.
Nice.
And we just did. Man, I'd remember like doing 8-pound wall balls and 16-inch box jumps to like get training. I was like horrible. I couldn't even keep my own. And like I hadn't like me and like CrossFit and I never had a good relationship because my vision of CrossFit was hordes of CrossFitters coming to brunch after their Saturday like WODs. And I'm like, dude, these people are obnoxious,
Yeah.
And then I found a gym that it's like not like where I go is like not really like that. It's not like the typical and like Danny was like in local hardcore bands in the scene and I'd known from the scene, from the music scene. I'm like, all right, this is like the dude, lots of tattoos and hardcore. And I'm like, all right, these are my people, right?
Yeah.
Like this is my vibe. And then I gave it a shot and I just like loved it. It was so cool for me to go to this, like my entire life is like do. And then when I'm there, it's just listen.
Okay.
Like it's the other way around, right? Like I don't have to think. I just did what they told me to do.
Right.
As opposed to being the one that has to create everything. And then through that, it was like eating healthy at the same time. And then like the weight started to come off and I felt really good in my skin. And through that has led me to, I ran my first full marathon in December, done CrossFit competition. I'll do whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like you could be like, let's stop this now and let's go work. Sure.
Right.
Doesn't matter. You know what? It doesn't matter to me. Like I've just like love health and fitness and like I feel incredible. Like, people are like, oh man, like I wish I was 30 again. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Right.
Like I am in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
Like the most success I've ever had. And I think a lot of it has to do with this. Like I don't think without this passion for like this dedication to health and fitness, I would be able to run 4 restaurants. Like because I'm clear-minded every day, right?
That's what I was just thinking in my head when you said that. What it does is it keeps your mind sharp. That's what people don't realize.
Whatever.
The better the body, the sharper the mind.
I love it.
Every
Yeah,
time.
100%.
Yeah.
And like now I run with my crew or they get better because of it. And it's been awesome. I'll do whatever. It doesn't matter. You could like, you want to things I'm dying to do, right? Like, okay, my goal next year, half Ironman.
Okay.
Right? I'm running the Chicago Marathon in October. Eventually full Ironman. Like, why not? Like my dream would be to one day run like 100-mile ultra. Like,
oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like Leadville would be incredible. You know, like I just like love this, like shut the mind off and hurt.
Yeah.
You know, like I love that. I love the suffering.
Right.
You know, like that's why I love hurting, you know, it's great, man. Like it's awesome. I had never loved that, but like, it's the same thing. And I tell a lot of chefs, like my goal is to just like, I want to raise awareness for health in the restaurant community and in my industry. And it's like, if you give so much time to your business, like, why not give that time to yourself? Like create the time, make the time, you know? And like, there's this like, the past couple of years, I think a lot of it too, like with the bear and all this, like mental health in the restaurant industry. Like, what about like physical health? Exactly. It will lead to mental health.
I was about to say that.
Come on, man. You can't have one without the other, right?
And the
like,
science backs it up.
For sure.
So it's not like we're just saying this because we're like bro science people. No, the science actually backs it up. It's
you know, like it works. I promise. Yeah. I promise it works.
I mean, I've talked to so many people that say exactly what you're saying. You know, I mean,
it works.
I have 2,000 members, and there's literally probably 200 people that work in the restaurant business.
Yeah, it works.
You know, so
yeah, it works. Isn't Ivan?
Yes, yeah. Ivan's been amazing. Just watching his journey.
Ivan and I talk all the time, and that's my boy.
You know, and Annie's been through it. Like,
man.
And I think that her commitment to herself in fitness, regardless of her struggles and injuries. I mean, she had a hip replacement, but even after the hip replacement, she still showed up every day for herself.
Of course.
And there's something to be said about that. Yeah.
Do other things and like just keep the mind sharp.
Yeah.
Because it will keep you sharp, right?
Yes.
Like, man, we all deal with injuries, but like I'm away for 3 days and I'm already like in a cloud. You know? So like finding things that you can do, just honestly, sometimes it's like just show up and stretch here.
No, it's literally showing up. So I think people like they make it too complicated, and I was just, my brother and I were laughing because he asked me about this podcast, and he's like, "So you're shooting like every week, like every week?" And I said, "Yeah, it's called consistency." And he started laughing. He was like, "Yeah, of course, like you know, because that's really it in everything that we do.
100%.
Consistency in everything. So it's not the intensity of it, it's the consistency of it.
100%.
The slow drip every single day. Show up for yourself. That's all we're asking.
People ask me all the time, like, how are you like so motivated? I'm like, I'm not motivated. I'm dedicated.
Yes.
And those are two very different things. Like, sure, you might need to find motivation at first, but once it becomes dedication, you know, and I think when I first started at the gym, my coach, Serge, was like kind of taking me, like he was like my guy at first, right? And he told me like at first, like the gym will disrupt your life. And then not going to the gym will disrupt your life. You know, and at first I was like, the gym, like it did. And then he's like, wait till the day like when you're hooked and like you can't work out.
Right.
You're freaking out. You know what I mean? Like
it just screws up your whole day. Like especially from your mind. It like makes you feel weird.
It's crazy. I've literally like had to, when I travel now, it's not just like the work clothes, but it's the running shoes and the gym clothes. And like, what workout am I going to do? Like, I'll plan like, okay, I'll do this body part so that I know that like I won't do legs while I travel, so I can take running shoes and I won't have this like, I plan all this.
Of course.
100%. You know what I mean? Like, and when I was on this cruise, like, it's crazy to think that I did a food festival at sea called Chefs Making Waves. And like I cooked dinner and I did I did a culinary demonstration. Great fun. I got to do gnocchi. We did dinners like on the cruise every night that I got to cook with Tom Colicchio and Jonathan Waxman, like legends.
Amazing.
But then my other thing, I did a 1 hour long panel on nutrition. I did a run around the cruise and I did like a fitness class. Like those were my duties on the cruise, was to like make people healthy. Yeah. That's sick. You know, that's so cool. Like what I loved about it, the last day on the run, one of the guys tells me, he's like, man, I just realized that you're a chef. Like, I thought you were the fitness instructor for Norwegian. I'm like, yo, we made it, you know?
That's
like,
awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And to think that like, that's what I get to do is like make people better.
Right.
Is amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and so it's very fun for me to, or like, I would just love, again, like I get so many chefs every time we put whatever PR, like video, they're like, dude, I got to get on. I'm like, what do you want to do? Let's walk. You want to talk about labor costs? You want to talk about, let's walk. Let's take 10 minutes. Let's go for a walk, dude.
Right.
Whatever. It doesn't have to be a run. You want to walk, you want to run, you want to do, like, come whenever. Like, I will go to you. Like, we can lift bags of flour in your kitchen. I don't care. Like, you don't have to come to my gym. I will go to you. Like, doesn't matter. Like, if I can give you 1 ounce of knowledge and of inspiration and like that betters you, like when there's like, I hate this, like, I never trust a skinny chef. Like, yeah, well, trust a jacked one. You know what I mean? Like,
I like that. Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Like, I don't need to be big, but like, I assure you, I eat great. I care about what I put in my body. I care about what I'm putting in your body, you know, and that's part of it too, you know, and I've realized through making, so like, I've loved this. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's like weird, I guess, body dysmorphic, but like earning what you get, you know what I mean? Like, I know, like, all right, go out to dinner with the fam. We're going to like, I get to go out to dinner with the fam and like, we got a group dinner. We're going to go in. It's great. Like Monday, I'm doing Murph. Like I'm going to crush and I'm going to earn dinner and I'm going to eat it. You know, like I never overindulge. And again, we'll talk about pasta, which is like my ultimate weakness, which I don't have pasta very often because I just like love it. It's like my obsession. You know what I mean?
Like, that's what I always laugh at people that like, you know, you're a little different because now you're a chef, but you know, you're a beast, you know, people look at you and like, but they look at us and they think that we don't like good food.
I love it.
And it's like, what are you talking about?
I love it.
Like, I love food.
Yeah,
I love
me too.
it. It's just, to your point, it's called, we're just disciplined around it. That's it.
And that's the one thing too, which got me through my hope was like eggs with pesto or things with bolognese or pomodoro, or like the flavors that I love. Man, like I would make eggplant parmigiana, but the eggplant would be grilled, you know, with tomato and parmigiana, like light, but like I never miss it. Like I never felt like I dieted a day in my life. Yeah. You know, since through all this, like everything was delicious.
You're too good of a cook.
It was, like, but like, and then the problem is like, I'll tell you the last plate of pasta I had December 15th after my full marathon.
Wow. Well, that was earned.
Earned.
For sure.
And like I ate it with a serving spoon because I wanted bigger bites. I didn't want, it was nothing. It was like the crew was in the kitchen and they were like, dude, you just ate that in like 2 minutes. Like, like the female servers were disgusted. Like,
how do you feel after these marathons?
I felt great.
Yeah.
Man. It's just
so
like
your body's not like beat up afterwards? Because I've heard like horror stories.
No, I felt good. It wasn't beat up. I mean,
because you're not a small dude. Like,
no, it was, I mean, I'm close to 200 pounds. It was good. I trained well. I think I should have trained more. I'm going to train more for Chicago. It was wild, man. A humbling experience, you know, but amazing. Like, and what was really interesting is I had no intention of ever running like full marathons. I had never wanted to run a full marathon ever. And again, we go back to showing up. A good friend of mine, Monica at the gym, she was running New York. So she's training and I'm like, who are you running with? She's like, no, by myself. I'm like, dude, I'll run with you, whatever. A couple miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, whatever. She's like, all right, I have to run 12 this weekend. I'm like, 12 miles, Jesus. Like, I was like, I'll run half of it with you. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to be here. I forget to charge my phone overnight. I wake up at like 8:30 in the morning. I look at my phone. She sent me her location. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, she was done with her run. Yeah. I said, whatever you got to do next weekend, I'm in. She's like, I have a half marathon. Okay. Strap up. So I went from running like 4 miles to a half marathon. Really? I said, all right, I'm going to do it. Like, if I told you I'm going to deliver, I'm going to run a half marathon with you. Ran a half marathon, and then it was like 14 miles, 15 miles, 16 miles. And eventually I'm like, well, I'm just going to run a marathon, dude. And I just ran my first full marathon. It was amazing. And then I was very lucky to get to sign up for Chicago. And I emailed Autism Speaks and I asked them if I could be, you know, one of the people to fundraise. And I wrote them this incredible letter. So my son's on the autism spectrum, and I wrote them this beautiful letter. And I was like, I promise you, I'll make the money. I'll hit my goal. Yeah. Count on me. I will hit my goal. Hit it in 23 hours. Oh, amazing. Like, the people of Miami are beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's like, we talk about Miami, like, man, Miami's an amazing place. Miami cares. Like, we are a small town. Well, it says a lot about you too. Yeah. And they did it, man. Like, people I've never met, people that just follow me on Instagram, just, and I figured, listen, if I can get 25 cents from every Instagram follower, that's $5,000, whatever it is, you know, like people just showed up. And when the time came to help, they delivered, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was like I was in tears, like bawling, like full on emotional, hysterical crying, you know, like it's crazy. I put the link up in 23 hours. We made $2,750.
Wow.
Now we're close to like $5,000.
Amazing.
Yeah. You know, I know like some of the people would like, I posted and I get like the hand clapping or the fire emojis and I'm like, pay up.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
like, don't congratulate me.
Like,
I don't want that.
Right.
Give me $1. What are you gonna do with the $1?
Yeah.
Give me $1.
Exactly.
Sure. Like even my staff, like some of the staff who works their ass off, give me $5. Sure.
Yeah.
And it adds up. And yeah, so now I get to run the Chicago Marathon, which is like one of the great 6 majors in the world. And
amazing.
I get to run it and raise awareness and give back. And yeah, it's amazing. And it's just like, I love challenges. I want to do hard things. I want to do like one really hard thing a year, you know? And that's so like next year would be a half Ironman, and which is great. I got a bike. I traded a dinner for like a used road bike, whatever. Like I'm like the king of bartering, you know? Yeah, it was great.
Are you a good swimmer?
No.
I'm the worst.
But listen, my mentality is like, I feel like I'm fit enough to be able to swim a mile, right? Like I think I can.
Yeah. No, of course you can.
Yeah. We'll see how well
I would
it
definitely
goes.
start practicing.
Yeah. That's the plan.
Yeah.
You know, so that's
It's
the thing
different.
too.
It's
It's
different. Basically what I've been told is it's all about the breathing.
Yeah,
it's
for
all
sure.
about the breathing.
For sure. And I feel like I've done I'm sorry.
You're good.
I had done a sprint try many moons ago.
Okay.
That was like 400 meter swim. It's nothing. But it's a mile. Yeah. We'll figure it out, man. Just throw it down and why not? I figure cardiovascularly, I can handle it.
Yeah. You know what you should do is a HYROX.
That's what I'm going to do next year.
Okay, great.
Yeah. HYROX looks great. I couldn't do it this year because I was at a food festival. I don't know if it was like Pebble or Puerto Rico, but the day I got back, it was the next day, so I couldn't do it.
Okay.
But HYROX looks great.
Yeah, you would
it's
love
fun.
that.
Yeah,
I could see you love it.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. HYROX looks great, and it's cool. It's like getting a lot of like the CrossFitters are in there. It's just like they just like kind of nailed it. Like CrossFit's kind of like gone a little too wild, and like after the guy died last, it's kind of like in a weird place. But HYROX was just like simple, repeatable, good branding, approachable.
No, they knocked it out of the park.
They knocked it out of the park. They killed it. Indoor.
And it's just growing like crazy. I mean, there's 9,000 people at the Miami one. 9,000.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, and you can see it and people, it's relatable.
And just the diversity too. It's so cool to see the, you know, super fit chick within the overweight, parent or
just
whatever, the normal guy and whatever. So it's just anybody can do it. That's the thing.
And that's what I love about running too. Is like anybody can do it. You know, like run your pace.
These
like,
run clubs
a mile's
are
a mile.
popping up everywhere.
Run clubs are crazy.
Yeah.
You know, a mile's a mile, right? It doesn't matter how you got there, how long, like you did it, right? Like you crossed it. And yeah, it's been awesome. But like, whatever, again, I'll do whatever. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. I just like love lifting things. I love movement. I love, I tell people all the time, just like move, man. Just move. Like you will feel so good.
So have you ever done a pit class?
No, I'm dying.
You're like the quintessential member here.
That's the plan.
You would love it. So I mean, we have basically a ton of CrossFitters use our pit for like their conditioning.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah,
just like high rep.
Yeah, well, it's so the concept was when I was training professional athletes, I started noticing I kind of had a system of how I train them. So it's a push movement and then a pull movement.
Love that.
And then it's a high intensity cardio movement. So you're going 2 minutes with your partner. So it's like me and you were doing it. Let's say we start out the chest press. So you do 5 reps, I do 5 reps. You do 5 reps, I do 5 reps. You do 5 reps, I do 5 for the whole 2 minutes.
I love that.
All right. Then you switch and we do the row. So you do 5 reps on the row, I do 5 reps.
Awesome.
Boom. And then the next is like the skier.
Oh, fun.
So now we're going like I go as hard as I can for 20 seconds. You go as hard as you can for 20 seconds for 2 minutes.
Oh, I love that.
And then there's 20 stations.
Oh, but like with machines.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
So but what I looked at the industry is right around the time CrossFit was like crushing it, Barry's, Orange Theory, all these people were kind of crushing in group fitness. Soul Cycle was really hot. And I was like, but everyone was obsessed with what they called like functional training. And I said to myself, I was like, what happened to traditional selectorized machines that I've been doing since I was, 7 years old, that they don't cause injury, that you don't have to think. You just have to get in it and work. And so I was like, what if I put that in a class environment? And it just was perfect. Like it just blew up.
Because it's also like less scary.
Yeah.
Too,
so it tricks women into lifting weights. Basically.
For sure.
Like they're not intimidated. And then you can actually like easily see your progression.
Yeah.
because stack starts at like 5 and goes to 200. So it's like on Monday, I was doing 25 for the whole month of May. Oh my God, I actually put it on 35 this month. That. So it's an easy kind of, and then the cardio things is the unmotorized treadmill. Mm-hmm. So again, something that do you ever run on those? Runner? Yeah, like assault. It is an assault runner, actually. Great. Yeah. Which is actually harder than running outside. It's brutal on the hamstrings and the glutes. So.
Crazy.
Ski erg, rower, Versa climber, boxing, like punching heavy bags, fan bike. So basically think of all the worst cardio
I love
pieces
that,
is what we use, and then sleds and ropes.
That's great.
So it's if you took a traditional gym, a CrossFit gym, and like HYROX and made it into a workout.
I love that.
So,
that's great. Yeah. And it's smart, like, because also the safety element presents itself. Like, that's the one thing you want to talk about CrossFit. People are like, man, you do that? That's scary. And I'm like, it's very scalable, right? Like for everybody, but like that takes away, hey, listen, a shoulder press and a machine, your joints are happy.
You don't have to balance anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to, like, it was.
That's cool.
It really has allowed also talk about like, your age range. Like, I kid you not, we have like a 7-year-old member and an 80-something-year-old member. We have this one woman, she's in her 80s. She comes every day. Like, and she's a beast.
Moving.
Like,
moving.
There's this guy recently that's in his late 60s, like 67-ish, and he's the number one CrossFitter in the world.
I love that.
And he was here today rowing his ass off. I was like, wow. It's just amazing. It's so cool to see that.
That's the best, dude. And so like I want to be like, I was talking about it the other day. Like, I want to be like the 80-year-old marathoner. You know what I mean? That, like, I love when I watch these videos. Like, man, I like the things that get me. Like the senior citizen Ironman cross. That's crazy. When they're doing someone with like a special needs kid and they're like,
talk about crying. First of all, you can't watch an Ironman on television without just bawling crying. The way they put that show together with the storytelling
and Mike Rowe's voice in the back is crazy.
It's literally like, you're just like you're bawling crying about it.
You become obsessed with it, right? Like I just like want to like push like that.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it. Who's that? You got to, I'm sure you watch, obviously David Goggins, you know who that is, but there's another Navy SEAL with the long hair and the does ultra marathons. What is his name? You got to find this guy. Like, you would love him. You know Jesse Etzler? Mm-mm. All right, I'm gonna send you some. I'm gonna get your number after this. I'm gonna send you some clips that will you'll go for a run after you watch it.
I love that kind of stuff, man. I love watching. That's like my YouTube is like music, food, and fitness. You know, like it's all I watch. It's like I don't even watch TV anymore. Yeah. Like I tell people all the time, like, if I'm not learning something, like it's not really worth. Like, I rarely watch a sitcom. Like, I'll watch things about Olympic weightlifting. I'll watch things about running. I'll watch things about cooking. If I don't have enough time in my day where it's worth completely like kind of checking out, other than just like
nothing, right?
Just absorb. Like, I want to absorb. I want to be better. Like, I want to keep being better. Yeah. And like that's what's been amazing for me is like trackable goals. You know, like then I tell people with running too is like, listen, if you run a mile today and then you run a mile, at my half marathon, I had run up to my training runs had been an 18 mile. I had done an 18 miler. So every step after that 18 miles, I kept telling myself like, this is a PR. Mile 19, you just hit a PR. 19 and a step is a PR. 19 and another. It's just like, that's what got me going. I was like, every step you're taking is another PR today, man. Like, it's a big deal. And like, I crossed that finish line. I had a goal. I finished 1:45 past it. I did 4:01:45. I wanted to go sub 4. Definitely did not train enough. But man, that 20, and like I held an 8:55 pace for the first 18 miles. And then it was just a wall.
But that's impressive.
Yeah, it was great. Like, I did awesome. It was amazing. And it was like, I love that 4:01:40, like, a dream. 12th, December 15th, I'll remember it. And it was like, man, I just ran a marathon, dude. Like,
and when's the Chicago one?
October 12th.
All right. Yeah. You're already training? I'm
ready. Yeah. Big training starts now. So we have marathon Monday.
Okay.
And which is a big deal, a big workout. And then after that, we'll start getting into it. Like, I'll be doing 8, 10, 12 mile runs. Those are good for me. But then we'll start pushing. It's hard, man. It's no joke because we do our long runs on the weekends, and it's like I work at the restaurant until 11 o'clock, 11:30 to get up at 4:30 in the morning, but just do it, man. Yeah. Whatever, dude. Sleep after.
And how has this whole new fitness journey kind of like helped your business?
I think it's just made me such a better leader, and it's made me I'm just like more positive. I'm very happy all the time. And it's just like, like it's allowed me to like be so focused on like, I tell myself like if I have achievable goals at the gym, then like I can have those achievable goals in my business, and it just makes me better, you know, like to show up and be there and dedicate myself, like, and it went from being like this mentality of like, if you can dedicate so much time to your restaurant, you can dedicate that much time to yourself. Well, it's like now it's like, if you can dedicate this much time to yourself, you can dedicate this much time to the restaurant. You know, it kind of like flipped. But it's, you know, I take my meetings after the gym, right? Like between 8 and 10, I'm out of, we're not doing anything.
Don't call me.
That's my time.
Which is
right?
smart.
Yeah. Like I get up every day, I go to the gym, I get to work out, and it's, you know, this morning was the same thing, and it's part of my day. It's part of my routine. It's how I start my day every single day. And it's just been like a complete lifestyle change, and I'm just like super happy. And like even my kid knows, like, you know, dad works out. Like, you going to the gym? Are you going to the gym? He sees me like in certain clothes. He's like, you're going to go work out, right? Like, my son's 6 and already like fully comprehends that like exercise is a pivotal part of his life. Like, I started exercising really when he was 3.
Okay.
So he like, talk about like brain development. Like, he knows nothing other than my dad exercises. Like, he's not going to remember year 1 to 3, you know?
Right.
But everything he knows is like, dad goes to the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, family goes to the gym. Everybody goes to the gym. The family goes to the gym. Everybody. It's like it's a big part of it, and it's great. Like, I just love it. You know what I mean? Like, I keep staring up there. I'm like, God damn, like,
You're like, I don't want to be in this room.
Can we cut this short? You know?
We should have done the podcast of us while we were working out.
I love that, man. It's just, I love it. I see it. I'm like, oh man, like, I look at gym equipment. I'm like, God, it's beautiful. I'm like, great. You know, it's awesome. What I spend my money on now, you know, like gym stuff and like work stuff. And it's like, it's an amazing.
And what about recovery? Like, what are you doing for that?
I do sports massage, you know, stretching, some yoga, starting to do some. I'm very lucky. My brother-in-law is a PT.
Okay.
So I get some nice complimentary dry needling.
Okay.
You know, I go all in, man. I do what I can to stay. You know, I think for the first couple of years, it was less recovery. Now I'm way more into that.
Right.
You know, I'm realizing that like I needed to continue to grow. You know, and it's part of it. You know, it's God, the one thing I'm like, I want to love so bad, and I can't, is a cold plunge. Like,
what do you mean you can't? What kind of bullshit?
Like, terrifying, man. I know.
Oh, stop.
It is bullshit, right? Like,
no, literally. Now you sound like your old self.
I know, man. It's like, I've tried. I just need to like rip the Band-Aid off. You know, I did a cold plunge after the marathon, and I'm like, oh, this is the breeze. And then I looked and it was off, and it was like 55 degrees. And I'm like, no one. I was like, so weird. Why do people complain about this? Hit a 35,
so,
you know?
I got an idea. Let's fucking go cold plunge.
Oh, geez.
Let's go.
All right, I'm in. All right. I'll cold plunge with you. Fuck it.
And I want the mics.
Oh, God. All right.
Let's go.
All right, I'm in.
This is awesome. Now I want to affect my day to turn into it.
You got me hyped over here, so I was like, as soon as the way you said it, I was like, nah, fuck that. Like, let's go.
Yeah, this shit. Now you got this one.
Somebody did not. Somebody freaking turn this thing up. Can't stand when people touch my cold plunges. Someone turn this one up. So hold on a second.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, I mean, it's ready.
All right, you lucked out. It's freaking not that cold today, so you lucked out. But we're gonna do it together since,
all right,
you know, because I don't want you doing it. So
I mean, I'm down. We can let us get colder. I'll go with you.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right.
Because you've never done cold plunging, right?
Not really. No.
All right. So this is what I want. The step is there. You're gonna step. Put your 2 feet.
Okay.
As low as, you know, all the way to the ground, and then sit down and then get as low as you can. Obviously, we have mics on, so don't get too low. What's going to happen is, as you know, is as soon as you get in, you're going to be, you know, like this panic is going to happen, right? Immediately shut that shit off. So you're a marathon runner, bro. Like every single time you're running and you get tired, your legs are burning, you don't say quit, right? You just keep going. So it's the same thing. Okay. So when people tell me they can't cold plunge and they do the shit you do, that's just lying to yourself. So now you might not like the cold, but again, it's who cares? So because it is beneficial. So what I want you to do is immediately shut off the panic. Okay. And start to relax your breathing. So you do yoga, you've done some breath work before. Focus on the breathing. And that's it. Just focus on the breathing, you're good. We're gonna stay in here at least 3 minutes. So
3 minutes.
Yeah.
You got it.
And this one's not even cold today, so you're fine. Like, I'm over here 10 degrees colder, so you're good. You ready?
Ready.
All right, let's do it. All right, here we go. Holy fuck. Hands in. Hands in? Yep.
It's cool.
I'm not good with the microphone. It's not like touching the water.
All right.
So you're good. You're good. So relax your breathing right now. Take yourself to a happy place. Take yourself to that pasta that you enjoy.
Yes.
I like to box breathe. So if you want to focus on like into the nose, kind of hold it for a little bit, then out through the mouth. But basically just really calm your breath. Calm your breath. You're doing great. But if you could implement this, say, 3 days a week, you know, like it will really help your recovery. Also, sauna is amazing too.
After?
Like for you, I would say I would have recovery days.
Okay.
So for you, instead of because you're doing long runs, you're doing CrossFit, those are very intense stuff. So for you, I would say do recovery days where you're literally doing some contrast therapy.
Okay.
So let's do like 10 to 15 minutes in a really hot sauna, then go in here for 2-3 minutes, then go back in the sauna and do some contrast. You will feel like $1 million the next day, like $1 million.
Well, this is already a record. So PR day.
No, you're doing PR, bro. So, as soon as you said I can't, I was like, hey, there's no way you can't
This
do
is
anything.
I would say the perfect day to do a cold
You
plunge.
are like, you can do anything.
Yeah,
bro.
man, this is-
anything. So, and you're leading by example every single day. So this is just
wild,
another way to do it. So the difference in these cold plunges and probably most cold plunges is that there's a circulation. So you can't like form that thermal barrier. So it's breaking it up every time.
Okay.
So you're there's nowhere to run.
Right, because I remember
staying cold.
in the other one, they were
The
like,
other
move
one,
your body.
because if you stood still,
Yeah.
then you could actually like stay in there all day if you wanted to. But this one breaks it up for you, so it's miserable. Like it sucks. Yeah.
Beautifully miserable.
Yes. But it's good pain. It's good pain.
It's different. Listen, man, I had like needles in my Achilles tendon. This is definitely not that bad.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. I did a PRP into my Achilles.
Bro, I did
Crazy.
So I've broken my back twice. Try doing PRP and Prolo with volcanic ash directly in your spine.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. I have the you shot that, right? Did you shoot that or somebody else shot it? Oh no, Jordy shot that. Oh bro. Felt like a bowling ball going through my spine.
God, it was crazy.
It was wild. It was wild. And then of course the doctor's like, 90% of people go under for this procedure. And I was like, oh really? You didn't tell me that?
Bro, I asked the lady, she's like, she's like, it'll probably hurt a little bit. I'm like, a little bit?
Yeah, no, it burns like something.
Oh my God.
It's like hot lava going through your body.
And I remember asking them, like, why were you squeezing my foot? They're like, we weren't. That's the pressure of the liquid expanding.
Exactly. So imagine that in your spine.
Oh God.
Oh,
No.
it literally felt like a bowling ball. I was like, what is going on?
Oof. Yo, we did it.
See? Easy money.
Okay.
Easy money.
Okay.
All right. Easy money.
Ooh. Wow. Whew. All right, cool.
Good job, man.
Thanks, dude.
That was no.
Thank you for
that was
pushing me,
easy.
man.
Yes. So now you've done it. So now you have no excuse. So.
No, now I got to do it again. See, now it feels great.
Yeah.
This is
It
beautiful.
feels good, right?
This feels amazing.
So they, and again, when I say they, I'm not really sure who I'm talking about because there's so much information out there, but they say that cocaine gives you about like a 15-minute dopamine rush, and cold plunging of 3-minute cold plunging in less than 50 degrees gives you a 6-hour dopamine.
All right.
So kind of
Now we know.
yes.
This is the perfect way to take over Miami club scene. It's cold plunges.
Yes.
Woo! That feels great. Oh, I feel awesome now. That's it.
This
Damn.
is really a ploy to increase the views with our sexy bodies.
I love
really
it. That's all we're gonna do, man. We know what sells.
Yeah.
Great
Awesome.
job, bro. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Of course.
And we gotta get you in here working out.
Yeah, man. I would love to.
So I had to do that.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was great. Not what I was
We
expecting.
really did it, people. So
That's real deal.
yes.
Right. You're right, man. I can't
Remember,
say
it's,
I'll commit and not commit, right?
exactly. It's the same. Every single thing you said on the podcast up until that point was like how you've grown.
Yeah.
From a mental state, and then all of a sudden you were like defeated, and I was like,
Let's do it.
hell no.
All right,
I'm not
man.
Defeated.
Keep growing every day, right?
Yeah, man.
Sick.
So do hard shit.
Fuck yeah.
You know?
I love that.
And yeah, you're always welcome here.
Thank you.
So if you ever want to do that again,
I will.
let me know.
I will. I got to get a workout in with Ivan.
Yo,
I keep
no,
saying
for
like,
sure.
I keep watching him like, he was like deadlifting the other day. I was like, how do you feel? How do you feel? He's like, oh, I feel great.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I was like,
He's funny. Like him and Julian, they're younger guys. So, and I always feel like so I always said to myself, I was never going to be my dad. That's like, when I was your age, like, as I was like, it was cringy, Now I'm doing it.
of course, man.
Because Ivan they would hit like a PR. And I'm like, yeah, I used to do that like 18 times in college at y'all's age. But it's like, I'm training Josh Sweat for he played for the Super Bowl champions Philadelphia Eagles last year.
Okay.
Now he's with the Arizona Cardinals. And me and him were talking about like because he's a little bit further along in his career and he's in his late 30s. So we were talking about the things we did in our 20s. And we don't even understand it. How we physically did the things we did. Like hang cleaning 385 for
Beautiful.
reps.
What a dream.
Squatting 660. Like all these crazy things. And we're like, how did we do that?
Dude,
it's wild.
I started at 37.
No, it's crazy. Because I started lifting
Yeah.
at like 6 years old.
Yeah.
Like my dad, I used to call the dumbbells dumb bars.
I love
like,
that.
Look, dumb bars, Dad. Like, he had us doing push-ups. He would wake me up at 5 a.m. and have me running in front of his car before he went to work.
That's sick.
And like if I slowed down, he would honk the
That's
horn.
awesome.
Like
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Never too late, right? Like,
No, never too late.
and I tell people that all the time. Like, it's never too, dude, I started at 30, pretty much 37 years old.
I think the thing for me that like, it's so, your energy and excitement and enthusiasm for like where you are in your life and how it's tied to fitness is just beautiful.
It's crazy.
It's beautiful.
And it's
beautiful.
fully like, I truly love it. And
No,
like,
you can feel it.
And I tell people all the time, like, my sister, she's a PT. She's like head of PT with UM. Knows every bone in the body, knows every ligament. Captain of the varsity soccer team, played basketball, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not gifted. I'm not an athlete.
Yeah.
I just work. Like, I don't have the genes.
Right.
So when I tell people like, if I could do it, you can do it.
Anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it, man.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it. And like, I'm not special.
Yeah.
I just work hard and I dedicate myself to it every single day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a special, like, I'm not a freak, right? But compared to other men my age.
He is a freak chef, though, okay? Let's keep
there,
it clear.
yes.
Let's keep
But
it
like,
clear.
compared to other men like
Yeah.
my age, I see people all the time. I'm just like, dude, how are you not moving? And then I think to myself, okay, 3 years ago you weren't moving either, And
But you have such a platform now to
and
really
I want
tell
to.
people
That's all I
about it,
want.
so.
Yeah, like I don't want to be an influencer. I don't want to be an influencer, but I would love to influence you to make yourself better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to have a voice, and I want people to see me and say, like, dude, if you can do it, like, if you can do it, I can do it.
And the word
Like,
doesn't matter.
think of me like that. You know what I mean? Like, don't idolize me. Just be like, yo, if this fucking guy can do it, like, I can do it.
Yeah.
Yes, 100% you can do it. And obviously more targeted to people in my industry that it's just got such a bad rep of like, like you don't, like, I would love for chefs to know, like, you don't need to be, like, you don't have to do the Jameson shot and the beer after service. Like, you don't have to do that.
Right,
it's okay. Like, you don't have to be that image anymore. Like, you don't have to scream. You don't have to be rude. Like, you can just be a good dude and like, you can work hard and like, have a protein shake instead. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, at work, man, I think about it too. Like, we don't have shift beers. Like, we're drinking Celsius, or you know what I mean? And we're drinking like electrolytes. Like, me and the boys at work, like, there's no shift beers at the end of service. Like, we'll drink electrolytes. I'm like, yo, boys, who wants an element? You know, that's how the kitchen is now.
That's awesome.
And like, we run, we work out together, we lift together. Like, I send them videos of my lifts. Like, they send me videos of like, they send me screenshots of their runs and their distance. And like, these are my boys in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, my cooks, my chefs. And it's really interesting to have this relationship, where the boys say like, yo, after my most important thing I did after my marathon, I went to work. I ran a full marathon and I worked dinner service that day in the kitchen. And I wanted to show everybody in that restaurant that like, if you want to, you can. Like, don't make excuses. Like, oh, you're tired? I ran a full marathon today and I'm here at work on time.
Yeah.
Where are you? Like, those are the ways I want to inspire and I want to lead, to show people that, and my crew and my team, that like, if this 40-year-old dude can do it, I can do it. That's the plan. That's it.
Bro, you were awesome.
My man, thank you.
so
It was
much,
so much
man.
fun, dude.